right, these are your notes for histograms. So data from a frequency table can be displayed as a histogram. You may be asking, what's a frequency table? Well, if you look down here, frequency tables have tallies, and it will have a frequency on it. So those are two keys right here. Tallies, frequencies, 90% of the time, or always, they have ranges also. So there's a range, there's a tally, so range 2029, a tally, and a frequency. So frequency is how many tallies there are. 4 tallies, so 4. 9 tallies, so 9. Okay? So a histogram is technically a type of bar graph. It's just a special type of bar graph. The data is divided up into equal ranges that are shown along the bottom, or the x-axis. So bottom is the x-axis. Another characteristic of a histogram is that the bars are always touching. So if you see a graph where the bars are touching, there's ranges at the bottom, that right there tells you it's a histogram. Okay, so step 1 is going to be to label the x-axis and the y-axis. So if I'm looking here, my ranges go on the bottom. Okay, so my ranges over here, these are the ranges, are going to be the age in years. So my x-axis is the age in years. Let's go ahead and label those. I have 20 to 29. I've got 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and then 50 to 59. And I just got all these from right here. Okay, those are my ranges. Ranges always go on the bottom. So the x-axis is, the age in years. And then the y-axis is going to be the frequency, or how tall. Apparently I don't know how to write. Or how tall our bars will be. We need to make sure we include a title. So the title of our histogram can be, it's right here, Ages of Teachers. Okay, and then we need to label our y-axis, and our y-axis is the frequency. So, y-axis, title, this is the x-axis. And then the ranges go here. All right, so step 3 is going to be to draw the bars on the x-axis and the frequencies on the y-axis. So for each interval, so we call these intervals or ranges, draw a bar to represent the frequency of that interval. Make sure the bars are touching. Sorry, this is the wrong word. You're going to draw the intervals or ranges, whatever word works for you, on the x-axis, and the frequencies on the y-axis. Okay, so I labeled 20 to 29. My frequencies go from 1 all the way up to 9, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sometimes you may have to count by 2s or 5s. It just depends on what the amount of your frequencies are. Okay, so the 20 to 29 range, there are 4 of those. So I like to draw big, thick bars. 20. Okay, so there's 4 of those. I'm going to color mine. If you don't color yours, that's fine. Just make sure that we can tell the difference where one starts and one ends. So got big thick lines. You could put designs in between them. That's up to you. The 30 to 39 age range is 9. So starting from the edge of this, the top right corner of this bar, I'm going to go up to 9. Okay, the reason I started from that corner is because I know that these have to touch. So I'm going to make this pink. Again, you don't have to color. You can do designs or something like that to differentiate between the bars. Up to you. 40 to 49, there's 6 of them. So here's 6. I'm just going to extend my bar over. And then 50 to 59, there's only 1. All right, so that is a histogram. If you're in my class, Ms. Clifton's class, you may notice that a lot of times your test scores, I make an histogram. You can see each class how they did, and it's in a histogram. There's ranges, and the bars are touching. All right, so here's a practice problem. Create a frequency table and a histogram for the following data set. So if I look at the bottom, there's already graphs here for me. So I know the cost is my x-axis, and those ranges are already given to me. So I know a range needs to be 7 to 14, 15 to 22, 23 to 30, 31 to 38, and 39 to 46. So what I'm going to do is I am going to come over here, and I am going to put a tally every time I see that number in that range. So 8 falls in the range of 7 to 14, 15 is in this range, 20 is in this range, 25 is in this range, there's a 7, a 21, a 30, 27, a 19, a 14, a 16. Now, one thing I want to point out with tallies is when you get to the 5th tally, you need to make it a diagonal. Okay, that represents a total of 5. Okay, 10, 19, another 10, so 18, 23, 32, 40, and 45. So now that I've done my tallies, I need to come over here and write their frequencies. So there's 5 tallies here, there's 7 tallies here, 4 here, 1 here, and 2 here. Okay, now that I've done this, my graph is already labeled for me over here, so all I have to do is draw my bars. So there are 5 theme parks that have a cost of $7 to $14. So I'm going to take my bar and I'm going to extend it up to 5. That's halfway between 4 and 6. So if you notice when I do my bar, it kind of goes from one side of my range to the other. I want to make sure that this side is about halfway between these two. That way my bars stay right on line with those as I keep going. So I am going to just make that a different design. 15 to 22, there's 7 of them, so I'm going to extend up to 7. Draw my line on this side, halfway up. I'm going to keep that not colored in. 23 to 30, there's only 4, so draw about halfway. I'm going to do this one in vertical lines, just so it looks different. 31 to 38, there's only 1 of them. I'm going to do this in polka dots. And then 39 to 46, there's 2, so I'm going to extend up to 2. And this one, I think I'll do horizontal stripes. Okay, so my histogram is now complete. I made sure my bars are all touching. Remember, when you're creating bars, it helps if at the right side of your bar, you kind of make a line halfway between the ranges so you know where to go up from so that your bars stay centered right over the ranges. Okay, and then how many theme parks have an admission more than $22? More than 22. Well, here's 22. I want everything more than that, so that would be 23 to 46. So that would be 4 plus 1 plus 2, which is a total of 3 theme parks. Most of the time what you're going to see on these is not that you have to necessarily make the actual graph yourself, but you may have to pick a graph that matches the data or answer questions about the data from the graph or the table. All right, these are your notes for histograms.